This is what a concubine's days were like in ancient Rome. You would surely be surprised by how accepted this role was at the time, but at the same time, there was such an absurd ban on it that it's truly incomprehensible. He is Luciano, a young and energetic Roman man, and he is Decimus, an experienced nobleman with a great fortune. Luciano lives in Decimus's house and works as his concubine, that is, an unofficial couple whose purpose is to share their intimacy. Despite the unbelievable ban that governs both of them, Luciano receives special treatment in his master's house. As he is a concubine, he's not a common slave. He enjoys some privileges to a certain extent. And although there could always be problems with it, this practice was generally accepted in ancient Rome. It all depended on the role that each person played. At that time, there weren't labels or prejudices around people's orientations. Everyone could do what they wanted with whoever they wanted. But as we've mentioned before, it was all based on one thing: power. Although the absurd ban on concubinage was always enforced, Decimus could get affectionate with Luciano as long as he was in a dominating position. In an encounter between a woman and a man, the differences between who gives and who gets are evident, but in encounters between men, it was looked down on for the nobleman to be the one who received, because that meant that he was subdued to his partner, which was a sign of weakness. So what was that unbelievable prohibition on concubinage, considering how liberal and open-minded Roman society was at that time? The answer is one word: marriage. There's an example in one of Catullus's poems, in which we'll use Luciano and Decimus as an example. The poet talks about the insecurities of a concubine regarding his master's future wife. In this case, it's as if Luciano was really worried about Decimus's wedding. It turns out that Luciano's insecurity comes from the fear of being abandoned, because according to the customs of that time, a concubine's work ends for good once the nobleman gets married. At that moment, his life changes radically. If at some point Luciano wants to get some affection from somebody, he will be forced to do so with women, which he's not used to. Moreover, he is now expected to take a dominant position in the private encounters because he's a man. Moreover, Luciano's long and abundant hair will be cut as a symbol of a freedom that in many cases isn't desired. This gives us insight into many things. In the first place, the Roman law protected the female concubines because in some cases they could be free women, whereas male concubines weren't protected by the law because they were usually slaves. And in case Luciano and Decimus loved each other so much that they decided to be together forever, they would commit a serious crime. Marriage between men was punishable by law in ancient Rome. The main explanation for such an illogical restriction is based on power, as we've mentioned. If two men got married, it meant that one of them would have to be subdued forever inside four walls, and that would mean the highest unworthiness for him. However, in a concubinage, that wasn't so grave. If the concubine was a slave, for the Romans that meant that he was already unworthy enough. In addition, the Catholic Church's influence on people's lives was really strong, especially when it came to forming a family and the purposes of a marriage, such as having children. To sum up, Luciano feared being abandoned and left to his own devices. He had spent a big part of his life accompanying Decimus and meeting his needs, just to be discarded as an object because of the arrival of a woman who can give his master a child. With this video, we aren't trying to defend concubinage or establish it as a valid option nowadays, because it's not. But this does make us reflect deeply on the little importance that Roman society gave to relationships. As long as some rules and laws were followed, one was totally free to be with whoever one wanted and to explore the deepest nooks of oneself, accompanied by someone one felt comfortable with.